I click this and say, yo, what up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Brad Boimler Challenger Series deck that we have into UniVersus, featuring Star Trek Lower Decks. Out and available December 6th at your local game store. But today what we're going to be doing is talking about the contents of the cards inside the deck and how they relate to each other and potentially the overall game of UniVersus. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's read Brad. So we got Brad Boimler by the book Ensign. He is a 6-hand size, 27 health character. His 3 symbols are life, order, and void. And he has the keyword ensign. So anything that references the word ensign, you can you can reference with Red Brad. So his 2 abilities are response : after you play a diplomacy card, your rival commits 1 foundation. So if I play a card that has the keyword diplomacy, they commit 1. And then enhance your turn, each player draws 1 card. So we both add 1 up to our hand. So not really a 6-hand size character. For every attack that I play, I actually get a little bit more of a bonus. So excited to see what kind of discard outlets we can see, because there's no way Brad's gonna be able to play all of these cards. So let's see. With every deck, we actually get 2 characters, and so we've got Brad Boimler, acting captain, 721. He has the fire, life, and order symbols. Looks like we traded in void for fire here. Very passionate. And he says enhance : if it's your turn, each player discards a card and draws a card. If there are 2 or more attacks in a player's card pool, each player commits 1 foundation, period. So on your turn, we both cycle draw, and then if there's 2 attacks, we commit 1. And the thing is this enhance is not playable once per turn. This is an enhance that you can do over and over and over again. And in UniVersus, it's a little tricky, right? Because the enhance is not restricted by saying enhance your turn : right? Because it says your turn afterwards. You're allowed to play this ability on my rival's turn. You just won't get the each player discards and redraws, but you will get if there's 2 more attacks in a player's card pool, each player commits 1 foundation. And so it's possible that whenever you have, my rival is playing attacks, they've got 2 attacks in the card pool, you just use this top enhance, and then we're both going to commit 1. And I'm going to slow down my rival because they're going to be committing cards on every single attack after their first one. And then response: after rival commits 1 or more foundations during the enhanced step of this attack, he gets +1 or -1 damage. And so when I use that top enhance in conjunction with the bottom response, it is you're going to commit 1 and it gets -1 damage, or you're going to commit 1 and my move gets +1 damage. Very neat. So a lot of cycle drawing happening with acting captain, a lot of bonus stats happening. And the key thing to note here is we're not locked into the diplomacy keyword like we are on by the books. So let's look at some cards. So this is Replicator Enthusiast. It is a 2/5/0 mid block. You can see at the top corner. It has the life attuned symbol. It says enhance, remove. So when you play this card out of your hand as an enhance, choose 1 foundation in your stage, build 1 foundation from your discard pile with the same name as the chosen foundation. Your rival may build the top card of their deck. And so I'm going to take a foundation that I really like, and I'm going to just replace it with a bonus copy of what I already have. And then you get to take and build a random one from the top of your deck face down. This card's dope. This card's so sick. If you have a key card that you want multiples of in your deck, hey, this foundation is incredible and I really want more of it. Replicator Enthusiast essentially becomes a fresh copy of this card, as well as it becomes a copy of the card from your discard pile, and you build it in the middle of your turn. Or this could also be played on my rival's turn, right? My rival has some things. I build some cards down, and I want a bonus copy for their turn defensively, I could say. I could Replicator Enthusiast and build it in. This card is so sick. Holy cow, this card is so cool. Wow. I've seen a lot of Star Trek cards. I think this might be my favorite card that I've seen so far. This is a very, very cool action. This is neat. It's got a 0 mid block as well. This card's so cool. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, we'll move on. From here, we've got Combadge, the UR asset. It is a 2/5/2 low block with the order symbol. Enhance, commit, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. That's really, really strong with the amount of drawing cards that our character does. So just whenever I need to, this is not once per, this is once per turn because we are committing it, but it's not unique. So if I have more Combadges that I want to put into play, I can look at the top 8 cards of my deck and put them back in any order as I am playing them. The only issue is that it is at enhanced speed rather than form. So the very first card, the very first check that I make in order to play an attack to get into the enhanced step is dangerous and unknown. But after that, we have free perfect information. It's very, very cool. From here, we have the USS Cerritos NCC 75567. It is a 6/4/3 mid block. It has 4 symbols, a lot of symbols, unique ship keyword. It says form once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand, 1 to the bottom of your deck, and 1 to the top of your deck. Now, our challenge decks here do only come with a singular copy of the Cerritos, because the Cerritoses that exist inside of the challenge decks are all slightly different. They have there are alternate arts for the Cerritos that you can collect, 4 of them in total, in fact, which is very cool. Which is very, very cool. So when you pick up all 4 of the uniquely named challenger decks, you can collect them all. From here, let's move on to the attacks. We've got Hunt for Karanch. It's a 5/3 4 mid for 5 damage. It's got a 2 low block order symbol. It has stun 1 and it has the diplomacy keyword, which means that this says that they committed extra ones. This is essentially a 5 damage stun 2 move. It says blitz, your rival chooses one. Either they discard a card or you draw a card. I think this card's crazy good. I think this card's so good. The fact that they get to pick, yes, they are going to give you the worst situation, but if the choice between a rock and a hard place is my rival loses a card or I gain a card, it is a win-win on my 5 diff 4 mid for 5 stun 2 move. This is such an insane opener. It's so good. I don't know if I'm gonna continue. They don't know if I'm gonna continue playing cards. If they think I'm gonna continue, they're gonna let me draw. But if I draw, I could just keep going. It's stun 2. This one's so good. This one's so good. It's crazy. Next one, we've got Inconvenient Duplication. It is a 5/3 high for 3. It's got a 2 low block. It has the life attuned symbol. It has echo, meaning if you've got a momentum, you can replay it. Blitz, each player may build the top card of their deck. So just, it duplicates the top card of your deck, which is pretty cool. And then Blitz, this deck gets +1 speed and +1 damage for every 3 foundations in your rival's stage. So if they take you up on the offer of the free card, you're going to be giving this thing speed and damage. And so because it's the choice of hey, I'm going to give you the foundation, are you going to give me the stats? I think this is a really, really neat way to implement an echo attack of giving my rival a very hard choice. Because I'm going to take the card every time. I want my cards to be duplicated. Do they want their cards to be duplicated? If not, if so, we just get to, slam a bunch of speed and damage on it. This one's neat. This one's super, super cool. I like this card a lot. My brain is sitting here twisting and turning of like, what decks could I possibly play this in? Okay, Punch Me a Way Out is a 4/3 3 high for 5 1 high blocks. Got the order symbol. EX2 diplomacy. So in Brad, it does say they commit a bonus foundation. It says blitz, your rival chooses one. They commit a foundation, or they freeze a committed foundation. So the freeze word there says that it does not unready during the start of their turn. So when the game mechanics say that, you ready all of your cards, review a card, and then redraw, at the ready step, they just don't. They don't get to ready that card. So it is locked down, frozen even. And so sometimes this is a 4 high for 5 stun 2. And this also says that if it's the first move that you play, because you're Brad, diplomacy says that they're going to commit one, because that's what Brad says. And so that's at response speed when I play it. And then at blitz speed, if that's the only card that they have committed, it's frozen. right? Because they're probably not going to want to commit another one. Or else this is a 4 diff stun 2, 3 high for 5 with the X2. Man, what a tough choice. What a tough choice this card has. How cool. Wow, I like that these diplomacy cards have these like rival choice blitzes. It's very neat. It's good thematics. Good theming. Okay, up next we've got Second Contact. I saw this card and I was like, where is Brad even? And the answer is he's here. I just didn't see it because these are like very obviously like the forefront characters of the card art. But he's there. It's a 4/3, 2 high block, 4 mid for 4, powerful 3 tech weapon. Blitz if you have exactly 2 attacks in your card pool. This card does not count towards progressive difficulty this turn. So I play a move. I play him. Oh wait, I blitz. So it has to be the second card that I play. I play a move. I play Second Contact, and then it comes out of line, and like it's pretending it's not even there. It's a 4 mid for 4. It does not have diplomacy, which I think is a little rough for our Brad deck, but it does accidentally have powerful 3. So it's like as an extender, as a flow card, I play it, and then it's just a free 4 mid for 4. Especially with the Brads that are looking to like discard 1, redraw 1, or this Brad just saying redraw a card. Second Contact feels like an instant include inside of your decks because it wants to be played second, not count, and it's got a sick powerful 3. I think the powerful 3 is great. Up next, we've got Set to Stun. It's a 3/3, 2 low for 3, stun 1 tech weapon. Response after this attack deals damage, selectively freeze 1 rival foundation. So this card does a lot of mental damage to my rival because it's only a 3 damage move. And so if they waste a bunch of resources blocking a 3 damage move, maybe something crazier like Second Contact comes in and can blow them out of the water with its really strong, powerful 3. Otherwise, this card has stun 1. So at bare minimum, whatever move I stun, it's going to be locked down for the rest of the turn so that on the next turn, I don't even have to worry about stunning it again because it's just going to stay committed. This is a really cool mental damage card. I don't know how good it is in the overall game, but I think it's pretty solid. Okay. We'll move on to Shoot the Moss. It is a 4/3, 4 low for 4 with a life attune, 1 mid block, diplomacy. So Boimler says commit 1 tech weapon. Blitz, your rival chooses 1. This attack gets +3 speed. This attack gets +3 damage. So either this is a 7 low for 4 or a 4 low for 7, and it has stun 1 if you're Brad. Wow, this card is so cool. This card is cool and good and awesome. Obviously, you're obviously going to choose the one that they care about. If they can't block it, they're just going to give it more speed. And if they can block it, they're just going to give it damage so that they can block it. But if you have any ways to manipulate the other side of the stat lineup, this card's great. This card's so free. What a sick 4 diff off zone. It's low 4 or X +3 or X +3. How cool. How cool. Yeah, this one's very, very cool. And it's got stun 1 because it's diplomacy. That's neat. And then next we've got Survey Mission. It's a 6/3, 3 mid for 7. It's got a 2 mid block. It has throw. And this blitz it's diplomacy, so it gets to commit the extra resource. This blitz has 3 choices. Rival chooses 1. They reveal their hand, giving you perfect knowledge of exactly what you want throughout the rest of the turn. Or your attacks get +1 speed and +1 damage this turn, and that's every attack you play, including these things that say, Echo, that gets stats. Oh wow. Or your rival commits to foundations, so potentially a stun 3 move in Brad. I don't know what I would pick. And then this says response after rival draws 1 or more cards. This attack gets +2 damage. So inside of Brad, wowzers. Inside of Brad, this is look at their hand for perfect information so I know which attack zones or which block zones that they have and they don't. And then, or it becomes a 4 mid for 8 and all my moves get speed and damage. Or it's a stun 3 move because it's also diplomacy. So it's a 6 mid for 7, stun 3 throw. And then, after my rival draws 1 or more cards, this attack gets +2 damage. And so you just use either of the Brads acting captain, or by the book, and you just gift them a card, and then it gets +2. Whoa. Whoa. What an insane, I'm gonna get hit by survey mission, and they're gonna ask me the choice, and I'm gonna sit there for 10 minutes and go, I don't know which one I'm supposed to choose. I don't know. What a cool card. What a cool card. Okay, sorry, I'm musing. All right, a mesmerizing mission. 1 4 3 high block response. Commit after your attack is blocked. Your next attack gains frenzy, which is a keyword ability that says this attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each attack blocked this turn. So when you go to play it, it's going to get +X. Feels very good when you've got, 9 damage throws coming in. And it's also, I mean, this is not unique, so you can have more than one of these in your stage at a time. So response commit, I'm going to commit with 2, maybe 3 of them and say, hey, my move's going to get +3 for every card that you've blocked. That's kind of cool. That's kind of good. I like this addition a lot. That's neat. That's neat. From here, we've got Banana Hot. Okay. 0 5 3 low block. Instant response. So if your character has the instant keyword, which by the books does, acting captain doesn't, it says instant response remove after this card enters your discard pile from your hand or your stage, you gain 1 health. Neat. You eat a banana. From here we've got beta shift. 1 5 3 high block, enhance flip. Each player draws 1 card. So flip, we'll both have 1. Feels pretty good to utilize with survey mission. We'll both draw with Brad. We'll both draw with beta shift. We're off to the races. It's pretty good. Up next, we've got Bold Boimler. 2 5 2 mid block, life attuned, enhance. This attack gets +1 damage for each card your rival has drawn. This enhanced step max 3. So just a free stats. So on your third move, just like after you've played 3 moves, and as either Brad, we are asking them, or if we've used things like beta shift to have them draw bonus cards, all of our moves are going to get an extra stat line of just +3 for the rest of it, and that's for each Bold Boimler that's in the stage. So if I got 2 of these, I'm giving +6 damage kind of for free. Yeah, these moves are going to get very big, very fast. But at the same time, they could always block them, right? I'm giving them cards. You're welcome. Up next, we've got Chronically Dehydrated as a 2/5/2 mid block, life attuned with the Instant Enhance. Discard a card, your attack gets +2 damage. Only playable if you have the Instant trait. I think that this is the reason that this character is going to be hyper playable. Is because we're each going to draw one, and I'm going to discard all the extras and committing our whole stage down and giving you plus bonuses to all my moves. Man, I'm really excited to play this guy. Chronically Dehydrated looks very, very strong. And then enhance, sacrifice a foundation, freeze 1 ready rival foundation. Good whenever you use it on good when you want to use it on the before you play the diplomacy cards. And hold on, we gotta double check. Does he say after you play a diplomacy card, your rival commits a foundation? That does mean that when you play diplomacy cards, I'll block. When I block with my diplomacy cards, you have to commit 1 as well? That's so good. That's so good. Wowzers. Yeah, Chronically Dehydrated, great card. Great card. I want to play it probably out of 4 of this character, just because I want to be able to discard it, bonus cards. Up next, we've got First Contact Day. It's a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Order attuned. While this card is ready in your stage, if there's a diplomacy card in your card pool, your rival's attacks get -1 speed. So while this is ready, so if I have any number of them, and I block with a diplomacy card or figure out some way to get it there, they all get +1 speed for free, just for existing. And this is for First Contact Day. It is, you can just have more than one of them. It's great. And then hence your turn commit, which does not shut off the static of its ability. If your rival has 11 more foundations, selectively commit 2 rival foundations. My choice. And you can do this on your turn. It's just like my moves get stunned, and it does not stop the static from happening. What an insane card. What a sick card. This card's so cool. If you're down to read this card again for Tam. Well, this card is ready in your stage. I'm so sorry. It does say while it's ready in your stage. You're right, Jace. Might be. I was excited. I was very excited. Okay. It brings it down a little bit. It brings it down just a smidge. I still think this card is dope. I still think this card is super, super awesome. While they're not in deadlock, it's just -1 speed to everything that they play. And then as long as they can block one thing, which I can definitely block one thing. And then my rival has 11 more foundations. I commit 2 of theirs. It's dope. Very cool. Up next, we've got Rule Stickler. It's a 3/5 with a 1 low block. Response once per turn : after rival builds 1 or more foundations during the combat phase due to a non-character effect, commit 1 of those foundations. So if my rival decides to build the top card of their deck, I do get to commit it. If my rival decides to replicate a foundation off the top of their deck, I do get to commit it. I think this is a fine one-of. Or if my rival is playing a lot of building, I think this could exist in the sideboard somewhere. But a 3/5 1 low block just for like a sideboard piece is not out of the question. But it's a little niche to like want to be played at like a 1 or a 2 of even in most decks. But I think it's cool that effects like this exist in the game, you know? These like slightly silvery bullets for stuff. But it's also once per turn. So if your deck's building a million cards, it's not that big of a deal. Up next, we've got Special Assignment. It's a 1/5 2 mid block. It's got Diplomacy on it. Response flip: after your rival draws 1 or more cards during the combat phase, they choose 1. They discard a card at random of their choice, or they lose 2 health. And this is a Diplomacy card, probably one of the best ones that I can think of for blocking. I block with my Diplomacy card because it's a foundation. I'm not losing an attack card. And then they get to, they commit a foundation with Brad, or after they draw a card during the combat phase, which I can force them to do with Brad, they either discard the card at random, saying that they don't get the bonus, or they burn for 2. That card better have been important, or whatever card they have in their hand better been important. This card's dope, and a 4 of. This card's dope and a 4 of for sure. This card's sick. This card's so cool. And drawing cards is like happens so often. I think this card's gonna see actually a lot of play. After rival draws 1 or more cards in the combat phase, they choose 1. I think this is actually some of the coolest anti-draw that I've seen in the game, because the card that they draw isn't necessarily like the game-winning card, right? It's not necessarily the game-winning card. So like, what happens if they're digging a little bit deeper, but they've got one that they need to play, and you randomly shuffle it up and they discard the one that they needed, and you're like, oh, well, I feel bad for drawing now, and you're like, ha, gotcha. I think this is a dope card. I'm excited to play this one. I think this one's for anti-draw. I think it's very cool. From here, we've got Tricorder Scan, 1/5 2 low block, enhance commit. If your rival has 3 or more cards in hand, this deck gets -2 speed or +2 damage. If your rival has 3 or more cards in hand, this deck gets -2 speed or +2 damage. So a 1/5 that always on defense, right? Unless they're like stringing out super late, gets -2 speed. But on your turn, if you've given them extra cards like what Brad wants to do, you get a little extra damage. I think this card's dope as a 1/5 2 low block. I like this card a lot, right? It has 2 different modes of -speed plus damage depending on the pinch that you need it. And sometimes my rival has, 3 or 4 cards in their hand, a fully committed stage because of all of my cool Diplomacy cards. And so it doesn't matter if they have cards in their hand or me gifting them with their cards. I'm going to get them more damage. Dope. Yeah. This is neat. And then my last one is Twin Twains. 0/6 2 high block. Order a tune. Response flip: after rival chooses an option for an ability on a Diplomacy card, they choose one of the options. They choose one other option, and after rival chooses an ability on a Diplomacy card, they choose one other option and add it to that ability's effect. Wait, I'm sorry. I get to go back through all of these and say that now my hunt for Karanch is now they discard 1, I draw 1, stun 2. This is they commit a foundation and they freeze a commit and stun. This is a 7 low for 7 4 diff. What? What? They get to... I reveal their hand, and either they commit 2, or they stun, or they get... My moves get 1/1. Excuse me, Twin Twains? I gotta figure out how to unflip this card. You also can respond with Twin Twains again. So if you choose one other option, after your rival chooses an option for an ability on a diplomacy card, they choose one other option to add to that effect's ability. So let's pretend that they chose for me to draw the card. I draw my 1. They chose draw. I could respond twice and have them discard 2 cards on Hunt for Karanch. Because it doesn't say that hasn't been chosen. It just says another option. After rival chooses an option for an ability on a diplomacy card, they choose one other option to add to that ability's effect. I think Brad's kick's crazy. I think Brad's kick's kind of crazy. Yeah. Brad is dope. Dope. Wowzers, 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 wowzers. With that, thank you for watching the video, you guys. Thanks for having the quick little view on what these cool characters are doing. But this is neat. It can respond to the choice they made off itself. Yeah, absolutely, Scavenger. It's cool. It's sick. This is super neat. Yeah, this is a thinker's deck, and I think I'm into it. I like the choices that it gives, but it doesn't give. But it gives, but it doesn't give. So if you are looking to pick up the Brad Boimler by the book Ensign or Acting Captain Challenger deck at your LGS, it's out at December 6th. It is out 12/6. You can get those. And if your LGS does not carry UniVersus product, no fret. Go to the main UniVersus website, and you can request that UniVersus reach out and get in contact with your LGS for you, and help you find stores and such to get this awesome product to play this awesome game. So with that said, thank you much for watching the video, and as always, I wish you well.